Namaste. Welcome to your yoga mat. Let's get started in a child's pose. Let the knees come to the outer edges of the mat. Big toes touch. Reach the arms forward and allow the forehead to sink into the earth. Take a deep belly breath in through the nose. Open mouth. Exhale it out. Sigh it out. Deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale. One more time, just like that. And then begin your Ujjayi breath, taking a deep inhale through the nose. Send that breath into the throat. Let it fill the lungs. Feel the rib cage expand and then the belly expand. Let there be a slight pause. And then push that air back up and through the nose. See if you can create the sound of an ocean wave, a sense of calm for the body, to allow the shoulders and the hips to relax, to settle the mind as you focus in on the breath. You may notice that your mind begins to wander throughout the practice. Simply take notice of those thoughts. See if you can remove yourself from them. Just notice the thoughts. Don't act upon them. And then notice how those thoughts disappear and change. Coming back to the breath to focus your mind on this practice. We'll take a few hanging cobras. On an inhale, come forward, lifting the chin and chest to the sky, straightening the arms. Knees are bent, toes up to the sky. Exhale, push it back into a child's pose. Inhale, wave forward to that hanging cobra. Lifting feet to the sky, crown of the head reaches back. Exhale, push the hips back, child's pose. Inhale, wave it forward, hanging cobra. Really draw the shoulders back. Exhale, push it back, child's pose. One more time. Deep breath in, wave forward. Exhale to push it back. Inhale to rise to a tabletop. Step the right foot back and then the left foot back, high plank. Feel the thighs lifting toward the sky. Spread the shoulder blades across the back as you push into the earth. Draw the belly in. Right knee comes forward to the right elbow. Send that leg high to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, draw the knee to the elbow. Inhale, send it high. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Set that foot down, down dog. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale it out. Wave it forward to a high plank. Left knee comes to the left elbow. And send it high, three-legged dog. Exhale to draw it forward. Inhale, send it high, three-legged dog. Exhale, draw that knee to the elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, set that foot to the earth, down dog. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale to wave it forward to a high plank. And then drop the knees to the earth, tabletop. Left leg goes long behind you, toes on the earth. We'll take a side plank variation. Spin the sole of the left foot flat on the earth. A little bit of a diagonal with that right shin. Left arm reaches to the sky. Root in to that left foot and see if you can reach the right leg long behind you for a full side plank. Breathe a little bit deeper. Release the left hand to the earth, high plank. Left knee comes down to the earth. Spin the sole of that right foot nice and flat, a little bit of a diagonal with the left shin. Right arm reaches to the sky, side plank variation. See if you can gaze up to that top hand, root into the right foot, and reach the left leg long behind you. Full side plank. Push the earth away, lift the hips a little bit higher. And top hand releases to the earth, high plank. Send the hips high to the sky, downward facing dog. Inhale to lift the heels, and exhale to lower the heels. One more time, inhale, lift. Exhale to lower. On this inhale, lift the belly a little bit higher, push the chest toward the thighs. And we'll walk the feet to the top of the mat, setting up a ragdoll. Feet are hip distance apart. Bend the knees deeply so the palms of the hands come flat to the earth. Shift the crown of the head toward the earth, gazing through the legs. And then make a picture frame of the face. Sway a little bit side to side. And release whatever needs releasing. Whether it's tension or thoughts, let it go. Left hand comes to the earth. Inhale, right arm reaches to the sky. Bend that left knee a little bit to twist. Changing sides, right hand to the earth, right knee bends, left arm reaches high. Breathe deeply and release. Toe heel the feet together. Inhale for a halfway lift. Bring the hands to the shins. Crown of the head reaches forward. Tabletop back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale to hinge forward. Take that one more time. Inhale, flat, tabletop back, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, root down to rise tall, mountain pose, Tadasana. Arms to the sky. Soften the shoulders here. Spin the triceps toward the front of the room. And then exhale, hands come to heart center. Closing the eyes for Samastitihi. We'll take a cycle of breath here in gratitude for someone or something in your day today. And a cycle of breath in forgiveness of yourself or of another. And a cycle of breath to set an intention for today's practice. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back, high plank. Pause here, push the earth away. A little bit more weight into the thumb and the index fingers as you spread the shoulder blades across the back. Feel the legs lifting toward the sky. Shift your face forward an inch or two, coming to the tops of the toes, and lower just halfway to the height of the elbows. Squeeze those elbows into the rib cage. Inhale through to an upward dog. Pause here. Draw the shoulders back. Maybe move the hips a little bit, swaying side to side, finding some release. And then exhale it back, down dog. 3 cycles of breath here. Push forward into the hands. And on your inhale, step to the top of the mat. Take a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise tall, Tadasana. Exhale, folding forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, high plank. Shift that face forward, lower just halfway, Chaturanga. Inhale through to an upward dog. Exhale it back, down dog. 3 cycles of breath here. On your inhale, step to the top of the mat. Take a halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Inhale, rise tall, mountain pose. Exhale, folding forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. 1 cycle of breath. And step to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise to Tadasana. Exhale to fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, stepping it back, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale, use that right thigh to lift the leg to the sky. Exhale, draw the knee to the right tricep. Inhale it high. Exhale, knee to left tricep. Inhale it high. Exhale to step it forward. Low lunge. Rise to crescent lunge. Arms reach to the sky. Spinning those triceps forward a little bit. Pinkies curl toward one another. Feel that back thigh lifting. And then sink into that front leg by really pushing into the right heel. Inhale to reach nice and tall, long torso. Exhale, high twist to the right. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Draw that right hip in. Inhale, return to crescent. Exhale to airplane the arms, hovering over that front thigh, reaching the fingertips away from the crown of the head. Inhale, return to crescent. Exhale, hands to the earth, step it back, high to low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Use that left thigh to inhale the left leg high. Exhale, knee to left tricep. Inhale it high. Exhale to the right tricep. Feel that twist. Inhale it high to the sky. Exhale, step it forward, low lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. Push down into that left heel and feel the right thigh lift. Back heel is lifted. Inhale, lift the torso, reach tall. Exhale, high twist to the left. Feel that back leg lifting. Inhale to return to crescent lunge. Exhale to airplane the arms. That back heel lifts a little bit higher here as you squeeze the shoulder blades together. Check in with the left hip, draw it in. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to the earth, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Let's take that 1 breath per movement. Finding some meditation, some ritual in the movement. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to right tricep. Inhale it high. Exhale, twist to the left tricep. Inhale high. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, crescent lunge. Push into that right heel. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, crescent. Exhale it to the earth, flow through, or head right to a down dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to left tricep. Inhale it high. Exhale to the right tricep. Inhale high. Exhale, step it forward. Push into the left heel. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, crescent. Exhale it to the earth. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. One more time each side. Right leg lifts. Knee to tricep. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, knee to the left tricep. Inhale it high. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, crescent. Exhale it, airplane the arms. Inhale, crescent. Exhale it to the earth. Chaturanga. Inhaling, up dog. Exhaling, down dog. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, knee to tricep. Inhale it high. Exhale, knee to right tricep. Inhale it high. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, hands to the earth. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Come to the knees. Tabletop. Root into the left hand, reach the right arm up to the sky. Feel that twist. Send the gaze high. And then thread that hand through. Threading the needle, bringing the right shoulder, right temple down to the earth. Push into that left hand. Reach the right arm back up high. Find that twist one more time. And release the hand to the earth, tabletop. Push into the right hand. Reach the left arm high. Feel the twist. Send the gaze high. And then thread that arm through. Bringing that left shoulder, left temple to the earth. Relax the face. And listen to your breath. Push into that right hand, reach the left arm high, and set that hand down, tabletop. Right foot steps back, and the left foot steps back, high plank. Send the hips high to the sky, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, slow breath out. Step to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Bend the knees deeply, big toes are together. Sink the hips. Let the arms just hang first. Squeeze the shoulder blades together a little bit. And then lift the arms to come into chair pose. Your weight is in your heels here. See if you can lift the arches so that the ankles don't collapse in. And this is a pose where sometimes our thoughts tell us to come out of the pose. So you have to decide if you really need to do that or if you just need to detach from the thoughts and focus on your breath. Draw the right hand to the hip. Left arm reaches nice and tall. Exhale, bring that left elbow outside the right thigh. Make sure your knees stay nice and square, and then the hands come together, twisting the chest to the right. Sink the hips a little bit lower, lift the heart. And fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. On the exhale, step the left foot to the back of the mat, low lunge. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Soften the shoulders. Reach nice and tall. Exhale, high twist to the right. So we've been here before. See if you can lift that back heel a little bit higher. Now stay with the twist and send the gaze forward. Shift the rib cage forward. Reach that left hand for the earth or a nice tall block. And come into revolved half moon. Back leg lifts. Right arm to the sky. Twisting the heart to the right. Imagine that right hand is pressing into a wall and allow yourself to twist a little bit deeper. Bend that front knee, step the left foot to the back of the mat, and return to that crescent twist. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, open up, warrior two. So push down into that right heel. Let that front knee track towards the pinky toe side of the foot. On an inhale, straighten the front leg. Reach the arms overhead. Exhale, sink into warrior two. Inhale, straighten and reach. Exhale, sink into warrior two. One more time. Inhale, straighten the leg. Reach tall. Exhale, sink into warrior two. So even though we're sinking in, we're not sinking into our hips. We're pushing down into that right heel, lifting the torso out of the hip crease. Deep breath in. Exhale, extended side angle, right forearm to thigh, left fingertips reach forward as you spin the sternum to the sky. Check in, are you still pushing down into that front heel or are you pushing forward into your toes? That puts a lot of pressure on the knee, so see if you can push into the heel. Inhale, five-pointed star, turning the toes to the side, lifting the pelvic floor. And on your next exhale, come into goddess, bending the knees. Shifting the weight into the pinky toe side of the foot as the knees open up. And we'll eagle up the arms, right arm comes underneath the left. You can also reach back behind the shoulders if it's difficult to bring the right fingertips into the left palm. See if you can bring those elbows to shoulder height. Really feel that stretch in the upper back. And on an inhale, sweep the arms to the sky, five-pointed star. Exhale, warrior two to the back of the mat. Left leg is in front. Really root down into that right foot. Feel the stretch along the outside of the right leg. Flip the front palm, reverse your warrior. How much space can you create between that lowest rib and the hip? On the exhale, windmill the hands down to the earth. Step it back, high to low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts to the sky. Exhale, step it forward. Warrior one, spin the back heel down. Push into that right foot, lift the arms to the sky. A little bit more of a stretch for the left calf muscle as you push into that back heel. Straightening that front leg. Maybe step the back foot in 2 inches. Push the knuckles together behind you. Send the gaze up as you open up the elbows and draw the belly in. On the exhale, hinge forward halfway, just to a nice little tabletop. And then reach the arms forward. Reach with the crown of the head. And then release the hands to the earth, pyramid pose. So really think about reaching the crown of the head forward to that big toe as you draw the right hip back. Shin lifts toward the knee, knee lifts toward the thigh. Lift halfway, airplane the arms. Slight bend to the front knee. As soon as that knee is right over the ankle, come into airplane pose. Maybe flex the back foot, dial down that pinky toe, and dial down the left shoulder. Step it forward, Tadasana. Right elbow comes into that right hip crease. We'll set up a dancer pose here. Bend the right knee, bringing the sole of the foot behind you, and reach that hand for the arch of that foot. You can stay right here, allowing that right knee to release toward the earth, or go ahead, draw the belly in, reach nice and tall, and then hinge forward as you push that right foot into the hand and pull the hand into the foot. Slowly return to Tadasana. And exhale to fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step the left foot to the back of the mat. Spin that foot nice and flat. Rise up, warrior two. Center those shoulders right over the hips. And allow the hips to open by spinning the thighs toward your backside. Rib cage shifts forward 2 inches. Release that right hand inside of the front ankle, left fingertips to the sky. Stretch a little bit taller, increase the arm span. Flip the palm, and then bring that hand behind the back for a nice half bind. You may be able to work that hand all the way over to the right thigh and really open up the collarbones. Left arm reaches to the sky. And we'll return to warrior two. Straighten that front leg. Turn the toes to set up a prasarita. Flip the palms to the sky. Gaze goes up. Exhale to hinge forward. Perhaps reaching those hands for the outer edges of the feet. And then shifting the weight forward into the balls of the feet. Relax the jaw, relax the neck, and detach yourself from the thoughts. Return to that ocean wave of sound created by the inhale and the exhale. Come to tall arms, hands right underneath the head. Walk the hands to the front of the mat, turning the toes. Step the right foot to meet the left. And we'll rise up to another chair pose here. I'm going to face you. Hands come to the heart. Inhale for length. And twist to the right. Left elbow outside that right thigh. So it's right where we started, but now we're going to drop our butt toward our heels. Heels are slightly lifted. We're making our way to a side crow. So I'm going to suggest you slide that left elbow 2 more inches toward your hip. And then open up the hands and bring them to the earth. Shoulder distance apart. That left elbow is pressing in to the outside of the thigh. Right elbow will press in to the outside of the hip. Lift a little bit higher so your side of your leg is by the triceps. And then just begin to teeter-totter the head over to the right. Squeeze the inner thighs together and the legs may lift. Little side crow here. Slowly release. And we'll come to a ragdoll variation at the top of your mat. Big toe lock. Peace fingers take the big toes. Bend the knees, let the elbows open up to the side. And just release. Let go of any thoughts you might be having about that side crow. Let go of any judgments or expectations. And just breathe. And we'll release, toe heeling the feet back together. Take a halfway lift. And fold. Inhale to rise all the way up tall, Tadasana. And then we'll sink into a chair pose here. Coming from the top down might feel a little bit different. Make sure you're lifting the arches of your feet and softening the shoulders. Left hand can come to that hip crease. Right arm reaches tall. Exhale, draw that right elbow across the body. Make sure the knees are still in line with one another. Palms come together near heart center, and then twist a little bit more as you sink the hips a little deeper. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to step the right foot to the back of the mat. Low lunge. Push down into that left heel. Lift the arms, crescent lunge. Inhale, arms reach tall. Exhale, high twist to the left. Squeeze those inner thighs together. That will help to draw the left hip in. Stay with the twist. Gaze comes forward. Shift the rib cage forward as you begin to lower that right hand to the block and lift the right leg. Twist a little bit more. Remember, you're imagining a wall, pressing that left hand into the wall. Bend the front knee, reach that right foot to the back of the mat, and return to the crescent twist. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Pushing into the knife edge of that right foot, Push down into the left heel. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach overhead. Exhale, sink into warrior two. Inhale, straighten and reach. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach. Exhale, warrior two. Staying here for a breath. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, extended side angle. Reaching those right fingertips, palm face down, away from the back foot. Try not to sink into that left hip. Push the earth away. Inhale, five-pointed star. Pelvic floor tilts up. Exhale, goddess. We'll eagle up the arms. Left arm comes under, fingertips inside the right palm, or reaching for the back of the shoulders. And then sinking a little bit lower. Inhale, five-pointed star. Exhale, warrior two. Shifting the feet so that the right leg is in front. Flip the front palm, reach forward and then up to the sky as you reverse your warrior. Try not to lift out of that front lunge. Exhale, hands come down to the earth, stepping it back, high to low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg lifts to the sky. Exhale, draw it forward, spin the back heel flat, rise to warrior one. Imagine that right thigh spinning toward the earth. Straighten the front leg, perhaps step the back foot in. Knuckles push into one another behind the back. Open the elbows, gaze up. Breathe into heart center. On the exhale, hinge halfway. Tabletop back. Crown of the head reaches forward, neck is long, and the arms reach forward as well. And then lower the hands to the earth, to a block. Lifting shin and knee as you pull that left hip back. Lift halfway to a tabletop. Airplane the arms. Slight upward dog chest here. Bend that front knee so it stacks over the ankle and then come forward into airplane pose. Dial down that right shoulder. Step forward, Tadasana. Left elbow comes into the hip crease, setting up dancer on this side. Bend that left knee. Reach the hand back for the arch of the foot. Right arm reaches nice and tall. And then reach forward as you draw the belly in, pushing that foot into the hand. Listen to your breath and set your gaze on one spot. Slowly return, or fast if you're going to fall out like me, into Tadasana. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. On the exhale, step the right foot to the back of the mat, spin the sole of the foot, and rise to warrior two. Let those hips open up nice and wide. Shifting the rib cage forward. Release that hand inside the front ankle or use a block. Right fingertips reach tall. Feel the armpits stretch. Flip the palm and bring the hand behind the back, half bind. If you like the full bind and you want to take it, feel free. Arm reaches to the sky. Return to warrior two. Straightening the front leg. Turn the toes. Interlace fingers behind the back. Push the knuckles down. Gaze up. And when you're ready on an exhale, hinge forward. Maybe reaching the knuckles for the sky. Or keeping them at the low back. Release the hands to the earth. Tall arms. Walk the hands to the front of the mat. Stepping the left foot forward. And coming into that chair pose so we can try side crow on this side. Hands come to heart center. Twist to the left. Bringing that right elbow outside the thigh. Maybe even all the way down the tricep outside of the thigh. And then sink the hips to the heels. So remember, we're going to pull that elbow back a little bit further. Hands come to the earth. Over to your left, fingers spread nice and wide. Lift yourself a little bit higher. Bend the elbow so that left elbow comes outside of the left hip. And teeter-totter. Side of the head begins to lower toward the earth. Squeeze the legs together. And the toes might lift. And then slowly come back and come into a forward fold. We'll take Gorilla Padahastasana. Hands come underneath the soles of the feet. It's a great place to give your wrists a little bit of a massage with your toes, especially after that side crow. And then we'll release the hands from the feet, toe heel feet together, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back. Optional chaturanga here, or head right to a down dog. And we'll set up a traditional half pigeon, right leg lifts to the sky. Exhale, draw that knee to the right wrist. Foot to the opposite wrist. Let the left leg go nice and long behind you. See if you can reach those toes off the edge of the mat. Twisting to your right, send your gaze over the right shoulder. Say hello to your back leg. Bring the torso back center. And then go ahead and fold to your degree. Might be tall arms, forearms, maybe the forehead comes to a block, or all the way down to the earth. That front foot is your gas pedal, so the closer it is to the body, a little bit less of a stretch. The closer that foot is to the front edge of the mat, you'll get a deeper stretch. Rise to tall arms. Push into the hands, tuck the back toes under, see if you can lift that knee, and then draw the right knee into the chest first, and then send it high to the sky. Bend the knee, stack the hips, dial down the right shoulder, and then straighten that leg and set it down to the earth. Deep breath in, slow breath out. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale to draw that knee toward the left wrist, foot toward the right wrist. Remember that foot is your gas pedal. Send the right leg nice and long. See if you can spin the outside of the thigh down toward the earth. Send the gaze over the left shoulder. Come back forward and release into your half pigeon. See if you can detach from the thoughts and come back to the breath. Rise to tall arms. Tuck the back toes under. Lifting that knee and then drawing the left knee into the chest. Send it high to the sky. Bend the knees, stack the hips here. Maybe you can lower that right heel a little bit deeper. Straighten the leg and set it down, downward facing dog. Full cycle of breath here. And then walk all the way through, coming onto your back for a bridge pose. So feet are in toward the sit bones. Start with the arms nice and long. Make sure you can just feel the back of the ankles. And then push the low back into the earth. Nice and light. No need to really push in too deeply. Bend the elbows so that you robot the arms. Tuck the shoulders under. Push into the feet and lift the hips. Tucking the shoulders even more. Draw the butt toward the shoulders. Neck is nice and long on the earth. If from here you want to interlace the fingers underneath you, feel free to do so. You might be able to lift the hips even higher. Two more cycles of breath. Slowly lower to the earth. Goalpost the arms on the earth and just release the knees to the right and then to the left. One more time, knees over to the right and to the left. We'll set up another bridge pose, perhaps making our way to wheel. So same thing, arms nice and long. Take a little bit of that arch out of the back by pushing into the earth and then lift the hips. Good. Push into the feet. Robot the arms. And if you're making your way to wheel, I suggest stepping your feet out just 1 inch to create a little bit more space. Hands come behind the shoulders. Fingertips point toward the shoulders. Make sure those elbows are stacked over the wrists. Push into the hands to lift into a wheel. Perfectly acceptable to stay in that bridge pose. 2 more cycles of breath wherever you are. And slowly lower it down. Supta Konasana. Soles of the feet come together. Knees butterfly open. Bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. Fully tuning in to your cycle of breath. Notice your thoughts. Notice that you don't have to act upon them. And instead, release the thoughts and bring your attention back to the breath. See if you can allow your exhale to be longer than your inhale. Draw the knees together. Goal post the arms or take the arms out to a T. Feet walk to the outer edges of the mat. Knees are open. And then allow the knees to release over to the right. Open legs, supine twist. Option to bring that right heel on top of the left thigh. Just gives a little bit more weight to pull down, stretching out that IT band. Release that, bring the knees back up to center. Make sure the feet are on the outer edges of the mat. And then release the knees over to the left. Same option here, but it may feel different on this side to bring that heel to the outside of the right thigh and let the weight just kind of pull down on that IT band. Bring the knees back to center and draw them into the chest for a squeeze. Reach for the soles of the feet as you lift the forehead to the knees. Tight little ball. See if you can tense up the body. And then release into Shavasana. Final resting pose, taking up space. Allowing the palms to face the sky, the shoulders to soften, and the heels to sink in. Soften the face. And find your natural breath. Give yourself permission to pause. There's a lot that can happen in the pause. The pause is where we decide if we will respond to our thoughts or if we will let them go. In this moment, just let go. Awaken the body by moving the head from side to side. Deepen the breath. And eventually reach the arms overhead, full body extension. When you're ready, on an exhale, bend the knees and roll to your right. Keeping the eyes closed, make your way to Sukhasana, a cross-legged seated position. Hands draw in to heart center. Take a deep belly breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Deep breath in. Press the air out. Inhaling, thumbs to third eye center. May we think kind and loving thoughts, drawing the thumbs to the lips. May we speak words of loving kindness, drawing the thumbs to the heart. May we act in ways that spread love and kindness and joy throughout our world. Bowing forward. Namaste. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you had a great practice. Make sure to hit the like button and leave a comment if there's something that you're looking for. Thanks.